Welcome back. We got Brooke Baldwin, we got Chad Myers, and we have Daniel Stone standing by, having a discussion now about, well, what is soon to be 0 hour. That's when BP, and we understand you're not going to be able to see it, as we all assumed that you might be able to see. See these live pictures that you're looking at right now? That's what it looks like, folks, 5,000 feet below the surface, right?
Right.
About a mile down. Well, this shot is going to be stopped. It's going to be cut. As we understand it, when they actually go in to do this operation. Now, before we do anything else, Chad, you've got a representation, an animation, as we call it in the business, that shows, just because scope is important, and people keep asking us, well, how big is this thing? What does it look like? Because you keep showing little pictures. Yeah. Let's start with the big picture. Can you do that?
Yeah, let's go see it. What we did, and Google Earth made this really possible for us, so it was really easy to do. We took a map of where the satellite picture was this morning. This is from the government. Here's where the approximate location of the Deepwater Horizon rig is right here. The oil has been leaking out. A big part of the heavy oil, the slick, is well off to the west of where the leak is, but you can see it into the delta here, and it's easy to see on this visible picture where the oil is at this point in time. So someone drew a big circle around this, a little bit better picture than I did. And then they allowed us to take it and put it anywhere we wanted to. So I chose Cleveland, Ohio, only because I used to live in Detroit. Here's Toledo, here's Cleveland, Akron, and Pittsburgh. So if you take that representation of where the oil was today and you drop it on top of Ohio, you drop it on top of Lake Erie, it goes almost all the way to Sandusky and Put-in-Bay, all the way down to Mansfield, across Cleveland to Erie, and then back across. So can you imagine if all of Lake Erie was essentially polluted, was a dead lake, because this oil now has killed it.
And you got a little piece going all the way into Pittsburgh over there as well.
This is that little wispy part that 2 days ago it wasn't in the stream, in the loop current. Now it seems maybe a little bit of sheen made it to the loop current, and that would make its way all the way down. Yep, all the way down to McMurray in Pittsburgh and the like, right down there.
All right, that's the macro version. Now let's do the micro version. Brooke Baldwin's working on that for us. What's it look like?
So I have two different micro for you. Number one being, I think we can say this, casualties, potential casualties of the oil. And I'm going to show you a picture. I want to warn you, it's tough to look at. You'll have a very visceral reaction if you're anything like me. But this is, if we can get it to work, there we go. This is a dead dolphin. This was found courtesy of the Plaquemine Parish government. 20 dolphins, dead dolphins, have been found since the start of the spill. We can't conclusively say, hey, this is absolutely oil related, but it's possible. Dolphin. Also, my friends down in Gulfport, when I was down there, Moby Solangi with Institute for Marine Mammal Studies, they have found 6 of these endangered turtles. They, again, can't say, hey, this is definitely oil related, but they've been found swimming closer to the coast, potentially looking for food because they're leaving the oil. Another huge problem, these birds, a lot of pelicans. Folks, this is nesting season. They are just covered in this stuff. I was out along New Harbor Island. You can see hundreds of these guys flying around. And as I said, nesting season, the eggs. So story number one, obviously the ramifications with the animals. But story number two, if you were watching yesterday, we had this amazing conversation with Jean-Michel Cousteau with Ocean Future Society. I had a couple quick screen grabs, but now we can show you the video. He was out there along with his team last week, but this video was taken just 2 days ago. We were talking yesterday about so much of the story is what's below the surface of the water. When you see those aerial pictures and the fingers and the tentacles of the oil, that's just one part of it. But underwater, you see how some of these dispersants have broken up the oil, but it's sinking. When I was there a couple weeks ago, it was just maybe 2 feet down, but now it seems to be going further and further into the water.
Good stuff for both of you. By the way, I want to take a quick break, and when I come back, Daniel, can you stick around for just a little while longer?
Sure.
I just figured, look, you've done a lot of reporting on this, and I think the question to a guy like you is, what is it that we need to do now that we weren't doing before? If this is an institutional problem, it needs to be attacked from many different directions, I would imagine. Think on that during this break. Come back, give us the best answer you can. You're watching Rick's List. This is your national conversation. We're all over this Gulf oil story, and we're going to be right back.